Hello everyone, Bertina Amy here, and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I thought I would do 5 Dollar Tree Christmas DIYs. The first is a Dollar Tree DIY Grinch wreath. I'm going to start first with a 14-inch wreath form from Dollar Tree. This fall green ribbon. I'm going to go ahead and take actually both of these off their spools, and I'll be right back. So I have these two ends, and I'm just going to hot glue, and then take one end and stick it inside the other. And then this one I'm going to pull through, and we actually probably should only do under the left bar and over the right bar. And then we're just going to pull this through the right over the left, with the right going under the bar on the left, over the bar on the right, and then repeat. This is the part where we're going to be able to cover this up. We're going to pull through one more time. Take the ribbon, go around one more time so you don't even see that. And then this, I'm just going to tuck it in like that. And let's add some hot glue so that we can get it to stay. That's going to stay like that. And then this one, we are just going to trim off like there. Add hot glue here. Grab our clip to help us hold this into place, and we're going to let that cool. This is just 2 ribbons, you guys. So here's the next item. So here I'm just taking a small little Dixie cup, filled it with water, and added a little couple drops or so of the paint I chose. The name of this paint is called English Ivy Green, and watered down, I think it turned out perfect. And then I just do a wash over the entire piece, just because I want to make sure it has complete coverage. I also do the back. That part is optional. It's totally up to you. I do it anyway because I had more than enough that I made. I didn't even need as much as I made, so I did it just to use it up. But so off camera, I went ahead and free-handed his face. If you have tracing paper, feel free to use that instead and just print it out on a sheet of paper. But I didn't have a way to print it at the time that I made this, so I'm going for the classic original Grinch from the old cartoon version. But anyway, I used this yellow from Apple Barrel and just color in the shade of his eyes because for some reason they're not white. And then after that dries, I go ahead and trace my outlines using black marker. I happen to have acrylic markers on hand, but feel free to use a Sharpie if that's what you have on hand. Optional, but here I'm going ahead and painting this black chalkboard heart in red paint, and I do several coats off camera to ensure I'm happy with the coverage. I also took a pool noodle, cut it down to size, and then cut a slit into it so that I could wrap it underneath the Grinch's face. And then I decided to make an arrangement of king poinsettia florals as well as regular red poinsettias. These already I had in my stash and I thought would be perfect for this project. Alternatively, feel free to hot glue some faux fur if you have some over the pool noodle instead. I need one piece and I want it to be the right size so that you can see 3 visible hearts. This heart to the larger one. Try not to burn myself in the process. I'm going to cover up the hole for the other one. Alright, so I like the angle of this. I'm going to go ahead and first glue this down. Try to get this and add some here, putting it here. I'm just going to do generous amounts of glue, and then okay, so we got that, and then okay, we got that. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and twist it around. And here's the final result. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Next is the Dollar Tree DIY Grinch Sleeve Wreath. Okay, so I've got 2 rolls of ribbon and I've got a candy cane shaped wreath form that I got last year. I have extras of these. They were still at $1.25 at the time. Here and here. Start off by first getting this through here. The idea here is to try to wrap the ribbon around the one end of this candy cane. Alright, so I've manipulated it to turn it this way because I want the fold to always face me. And then this one, I'm just going to pull through right over left. And then we're going to go under the bar on the left, over the bar on the right, and all right, and then you're just going to repeat that method. So I'm going to go, I think the best idea, since I need this to stay here, and this needs to go around like this. All right, and then we're just going to turn it around and add hot glue to the back. I'm just going to layer it in here, and then we're just going to push it down. This is only using 2 rolls of ribbon, so this is going to cost you $3 of ribbon. Okay, so I went ahead and picked up these gloves off Temu because I felt they would be the closest color to his fur, just a little deeper. But actually, in retrospect, you really don't need to buy these. You can actually just go to Dollar Tree, pick up some gloves. They now sell them with like double layered, and one of the pairs of the double layer is already like cut off from the fingertips. However, these furry picks, I had seen them through past videos where people got them from Hobby Lobby. I don't live near a Hobby Lobby. It's actually really inconvenient to get to one. And Dollar Tree sells those foam rollers for your hair, and they sell them in a variety of colors and sizes and thickness and everything. So there's the green ones that I thought would be perfect for this, and it won't matter because honestly they're going to go inside the fingers of the gloves anyways, but basically the pick will actually go through into those rollers. I'm basically going to be using them as miniature pool noodles. So to do that, you can actually remove the wire that's inside it because you're not going to need it for this project. And you can do that by pulling the sort of roller piece down, and then it'll expose the wire inside it, and you can unhook the plastic end piece from one side. Then from the other side you can just pull the whole thing out. Very easy. You'll only need 1 pack of those rollers, and you'll be able to get 5 fingers out of that because they come in, I believe, 8 packs. Although that could have changed recently, and I haven't looked recently due to the price increases. There might be more, I'm not sure, but in any case you'll be able to have more than enough for this project. Honestly, I was going to totally use this for a different project altogether, but I've gotten distracted with my own project ideas that I don't know that I'll ever get around to it, but I'm not really concerned about it anyways. So once you've got all the pool noodles, the hair rollers or whatever they're called inside the glove, then I would recommend hot gluing them in because otherwise they will shift as you try to insert the picks inside there. So it's best to just actually stick the pick through, then lift it up ever so slightly, and then add the hot glue. Then I decided to take some scrap white fluff material and I decided to glue it to the front end only of this wreath because I wanted it attached where I feel it looks best. And that way I can get a better idea of how much of those picks I actually want seen. And I only attach it to the upper side of the candy cane wreath form because there's space between the material when I wrapped the wreath originally. Flipping it around. Then adding hot glue here, and here's the final result. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Next is a Dollar Tree DIY Christmas Present Centerpiece. I picked up one of these metal bow lantern decor pieces. I'm going to go with this one right here. Okay, here's one side. I'm using the folded area to mark the center, so I want it as close to this spot as possible. So I'm going to wrap it over the bar on the right, and then under the bar on the left. Right now we just want to ribbon wrap this. Because of the angle, we're going to go back to the old ribbon wrapping method, and we're going to go over both bars, crossing over in the middle with right over left, and then we're going to repeat that until we get to the bottom. Okay, so don't need a whole lot. This would go under. Hot glue here. Okay, pull that down. Whatever I'm doing over here, I'm going to repeat on the opposite side. That much. And add hot glue to the back of it. And then just push it down. And this part is optional. Fabric helps to adhere things to each other. Just hot glue it underneath. Then I go ahead and embellish the very top with a white king poinsettia and a red poinsettia. Then I decide to take the scrap ribbon I had on hand and add ribbon tails to embellish it further underneath the flowers. Then off camera I went ahead and took a wood round, painted it in my black chalk paint, let it dry, then I glued it to the bottom of this piece. And here's the final result. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Next is a DIY Dollar Tree Peppermint Wreath. So here I take one bike wheel wreath form from Dollar Tree and their red Christmas ribbon from their Christmas section, and I start ribbon wrapping the pie sections using my original ribbon wrapping method of ribbons going around the bars, over the bars and around and under, and then crossing over right over left, and then over the bars again and under from both sides, and repeating that pattern until I get to the end. After that, I repeat the same steps along the other pie shapes at least 5 more times, and I leave the scrap ribbon hanging off the edge. It won't come apart, and I will deal with that when we finish this project. And feel free to grab some white ribbon or something close like off-white or cream and wrap another one in the same method, but I chose to use this fur fabric that I had, and I cut it into strips to make it my own ribbon. And I repeat the same process on this one that I did with the other until I get all 6 pies completed. Then I bring the red one back in and I layer one over top the other. Then here I just pull the excess red ribbon strands over the bar on the other wreath form, and that way both are laying on top the same one. And then I just go around and hot glue the excess over the bar exposed and then glue it to the back of the total wreath form. So you're going to have 2 wreath forms laying over top each other, and they'll be connected over the pie edges out on the outside rim. I hope that makes sense. So one side is the back and one side is the front. It's totally up to you which one you consider the front versus the back. I consider the part where you could see the shiny edges of the ribbon showing through with the red ribbon as the front. So totally optional which side you decide to be the front. Next, I take a mixture of the king poinsettias and the red smaller poinsettias, and I go ahead and embellish the edges to help cover up the little gaps along the edges of these pie shapes. And here's the final result. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And last but not least is a DIY Dollar Tree Candy Cane Wreath. So here I follow the exact same steps as I did for the Grinch Wreath. The only difference is we don't need anything for the hands or a collar for the sleeve. And instead we're just going to use a red shade of ribbon and a sort of white shade. And I got these from Dollar Tree, and the white is more like a cream color. It's as close to white as I can get from there. And this is what I used for last year, but you can still find these items over at Dollar Tree. Just not sure about the candy cane wreaths yet. I haven't seen them. And at this point, I still only did my original ribbon wrapping method. So it's right over left, going over the outside bars, over and around and under, and then through the other side, and then crossing over right over left, and repeat the pattern. Super quick and easy. And even with today's costs, this would be about $4.50 to make, I believe, if everything is at $1.50. Just kidding, it appears that I use this one where I go under the outside bars and over and around, and then go right over left and repeat the pattern. Sorry about that. Then I cut off the excess and glue it to the back. And here's the final result. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And with 2 different versions of these DIYs, let me know in the comments below which of these are your favorite. Did you know that I am currently selling personally designed t-shirts based off of my upcoming book, The Cancer Dragon? Here I'm unboxing some orders from coworkers who I'm very grateful to for supporting my mission. If you were to ask me honestly, the idea for this logo came from my DIY Cancer Dragon wreath. My husband bought me a shirt once that said, "I kicked cancer's ass," but because of where I work, HR would have had a hissy fit over that, so I decided to design my own. To me, there's something to be proud of in becoming a Cancer Dragon Slayer, and I really hope my journey inspires you. I never planned on designing shirts for this, but as I kept creating and finding ways to express my life story, it just happened. I thought to myself, who else might love a shirt like this? On the back, the sayings are made for slayers, warriors, supporters, and even for honoring lost warriors. These shirts were created with all of you in mind, and I was so happy with the design that I wanted to make it available for anyone who feels connected to this journey. Okay, so here's the cover so far for my upcoming book. The basic gist of it is, I became diagnosed with stage 3 cancer, got pregnant during fertility treatments, refused to abort, despite my doctor's warnings that I'd die at birthing my child. For book updates or to support me, scan the code or click the link below. If you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button and subscribe. And until next time, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.